Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to day 18 of our look at our favorite comeback albums of all time, our favorite comebacks in rock history. 30 days in this month in April, we picked out our 30 favorite comeback albums where bands come back from some kind of adversity and knock it out of the park, right? Long time away, loss of a key member, death of a key member, coming back from an album or a series of albums that were big commercial and critical disappointments, right? Maybe with some new blood in the band. I'm kind of stressing that for this particular one here. This particular album is the 13th studio album by this American band. It was released June 25th, 2013. Recorded at Rock and Field Digital Studios in Seattle, Washington, Watershed Studio in Seattle, Washington, Klaus Badelt Studios in Santa Monica, California, London Bridge Studio in Seattle, Washington, Uber Beat Studios in Linwood, Washington, and Real Audio Studios in Des Moines, Washington. Man, a lot of different studios to finish this album. Produced by James Jimbo Barton for Century Media Records. Talking about the self-titled release from Queensrwche. That's right. You know, it hadn't been that long since they'd been away, right? So it's only, 2 years since Dedicated to Chaos. And I think a few years before that was American Soldier, right? But more importantly, this was a return to playing Queensrwche music for the band Queensrwche after their founding member and lead singer, Jeff Tate, left the band, right? After a series of unsuccessful albums throughout the early 2000s and the latter part of the 90s, where Queensrwche really just struggling to recapture their identity and not really sure what musical direction to go in. You know, you got some guys, they lost Chris DeGarmo, in the 90s. And then you've got this battling within the band of what style should they be doing. And it was pretty obvious for a while there that the guys in the band and Jeff Tate probably not on the same page, right? So they released this handful of albums that, didn't really do it for a lot of people, didn't sell a lot. Queensrwche really struggling for a while, and finally they just got to the point where it's like, well, you know what, it's probably time for us to part. Jeff went and did his own thing. The guys said, you know what, we're going to go and we're going to replace him, and we're going to try and be Queensrwche all over again. And replace him they did, with a very, very fine singer, who has some similarities to Jeff, but he's got his own identity as well. Todd LaTorre on lead vocals, coming over from Crimson Glory. Michael Wilton, of course, on lead guitar as always. Parker Lundgren on guitar. Eddie Jackson on bass and backing vocals, and Scott Rockenfield on drums and percussion and things. Along with, of course, Pamela Moore shows up, do a little guest vocal on one track, of course. Andrew Raher on violin and additional orchestral arrangements on a couple places here. So what do we got in this album? Opens up with, of course, the instrumental X2, all right, which kind of gets you in the mood for the rest of the album. And then Where Dreams Go to Die, right from the get-go, you're like, holy cow. This sounds like a classic 80s Queensrwche album. That's the whole point here. Trying to get back to their roots. Spore is really good. In This Light, terrific. Redemption, another strong song. Vindication, love it. Another instrumental, Midnight Lullaby. Then you got A World Without, Don't Look Back, Fallout, Open Road. One really strong song after another with the soaring, potent vocals of Todd, right? And all the twin lead guitars and the heavy riffing and that kind of progressive metal themed music and arrangements that we've come to love and have wanted from Queensrwche for so many years through their explorations into straight rock and alternative metal and alternative rock and whatever else they were doing, all this moody stuff, Operation Mindcrime 2, and yeah, there's some good stuff on some of those albums, but for the most part, most classic Queensrwche fans just found a lot of those to be just ultimately highly disappointing. And the thing is, this album, probably out of all the albums they've done with Todd now, probably the least strong of all of them. I find this to be a very, very good album. But man, every one that they've done after has just improved upon what they started here. And there's people who are like, no Jeff Tate, no Queensrwche. It's a shame when people take that stance because I think they're missing out on some really good music and really good albums. And it starts with this one right here going forward. So yeah, that's my pick for today. As far as charting positions, we got in Belgium For the Flanders chart, 127. Wallonia, 89. Germany, 47. Japan, 163. Sweden, 46. Swiss, 44. UK, 154. US Billboard Top 200, number 23. US Top Hard Rock, number 6. US Top Rock, number 7. US Independent Albums, number 6. And US Top Tastemaster, number 11. All right. So a great return to doing what they do best from Queensrwche. And as far as singles go, Fallout was released on May 31st, 2013. So, yeah, dig this album a lot. But again, like I said, this started a trend where each album afterward would get better and better and better. I think the Todd La Torre era has produced some very, very fine music. To me, personally, all their best albums since Promised Land. So if you get, for me, I kind of forget about everything in between. Got no use for it. Promised Land, then this album and everything going forward. That's the Queensrwche catalog that to me is really, really worth listening to. Again, just my opinion. I know they have fans of some of the other stuff, and that's cool if you like them. Personally, I'm not much into them at all. But yeah, this was, to me, was a fantastic comeback of a band that regrouped, got themselves a new singer, got back to business, and knocked it out of the park. Let us know what you think of Queensrwche down in the comments below, as well as your pick for today, day number 18. We'll see you tomorrow for number 19. Visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube all together all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also, down below, we got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, our merch page, and our Cameo page. Thank you in advance for all your support there. And we'll see you soon with more stuff we got coming up tonight. We got the next episode of the Sabbath Stones. Chris Allo and I will be talking about all sorts of things Black Sabbath. We're going to look at the new Anno Domini Tony Martin box set that's coming out. All right. We're going to reminisce about Black Sabbath's reunion appearance at Live Aid back in 1985. Hard to believe that's almost 40 years ago. And some other tidbits and things. So stay tuned for that tonight. Followed up by The Monsters Den. We'll be doing another Hammer horror episode where we'll be picking out some of our favorite Hammer films that are kind of like series films. So none of the Frankenstein films, none of the Mummy films, none of the Dracula films, right? Ones that the standalone films. We'll each be picking out one of our favorites and talking a bit about that. So that's coming up tonight on The Monsters Den. Tomorrow, Martin Popoff at the Funhouse. Ken Golden, the Professor's Picks, UK Connection on Saturday, and Sunday, of course, is ranking the albums. Rick Labonte and I will be ranking our top 10 albums from Savoy Brown. Until then, stay tuned. I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.